I have finished 2 journals at the beginning of this year, and I started this one in January. This one I finished in April, so this is about January to April worth of journaling, and I wanted to do a little sketchbook tour of them today to just kind of show you what I've been up to. Let's start with the older one. So this one I started like right after Christmas, and the very first page is my favorite page, I think, in the entire thing. So I just had the inspiration to go completely like abstract and just stream of consciousness. I was in Humboldt County, so it's already kind of like a lot of psychedelic hippie art going on. So I was very, very influenced by that. And I thought it would be really cute to do this kind of rainbowy thing. But my favorite part is this green little moment. It almost feels like a field, like the stars over here and the koi fish. But yeah, this really resonates with me still. I'm really happy with how this turned out. It was a really good start to the year and to this journal. And I painted a little scene on our drive to Humboldt. We were in Oregon and drove all the way down the California and Oregon coasts to get to Humboldt and have some little memories here, some photos. This is another painting I'm really proud of. I painted this also in Humboldt. It's a photo I took in Cambria of these like dewy grasses, and I just painted each grass one by one. Very intense process, but I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I want to do more paintings like this. I just love painting grass and all the different shades of green so much. It's magical to me. Here is some more Arcata Humboldt memory collecting. Instead of adding photos, I just painted little vignettes of things we were doing. So like lots of hiking. We stopped at Dutch Bros on the way and got these little hot chocolates. And yeah, saw this little cat on our walk. These little, I don't even know what kind of plant this is, but they're everywhere in the California coast, and I just love them. I had to capture that as well. My friend Fiona took these stunning photos of me in grass. So like obviously lots of grass is going on. I just love grass and the aesthetic of like being immersed in it. So I didn't even know that we were on the same page about that, but she just like had a vision and it totally aligned with mine too. And we took some really, really amazing photos out here in the grass, and I did it up with my watercolor and some stickers to kind of like keep that as a memory in here. And then on this side, I have a watercolor, kind of a study of how to paint the look of reflected water while it's raining. So that's what's going on over here. Some notes. Sometimes my journal is just a brain dump for my business. This is actually what ended up becoming my March Patreon stickers. I was big into what Alyssa Liu was up to before the Olympics. So this is actually a couple the references here are from the international championships that she was doing before the Olympics. And I think it's so funny how big she became after I painted this. I just could see, I saw a star and I knew it was up. I love ice skating, so of course I did some little ice skating moments. Just different angles of ice skates. Some junk. I just love taking a break from the really intense watercoloring I do on some pages and to just like brain dump and add a bunch of scraps and junk on a page. It's very therapeutic. We went to New York City for most of January. It was so snowy. I've never ever experienced New York in the snow, and it was like a blizzard most of the time we were there. It was so beautiful, stunning. I want to live in New York so bad. I loved it. So I captured some things that we did on that trip. And William and I celebrated our 10-year anniversary of being a duo of dating. We have lots of anniversaries because we eloped. We also had a wedding, and we have our dating anniversary. So our dating anniversary was 10 years in January. And so this was the dinner we got. This was such a like mermaidy meal, the way they presented it. River Cafe in Brooklyn. Fantastic. This was the entrance to the restaurant. It was so beautiful. Had to paint that. And I went to my first ever Broadway show, and thank God it was Hadestown, because oh my gosh, that is one of the best things I've ever seen. It really moved me, and had to, of course, memorialize that in here. All sorts of other junk from New York in there as well. And what we have here, I was attempting to paint a moment every day in New York, and I did it up until, what was this, the January 24th, and then the other half of the trip I did fall off. But I want to bring this back. I really like capturing each day in one little vignette, and it's just a really fun way to collect a memory and to practice watercolor. But yeah, I just really like how these turned out. Like I feel where I was in each of these. It just takes me back. So fun. And I was just like really deep diving into Hadestown, honestly, and obsessing. So I painted the theater that we were at, the wall, and just, yeah, I love Hadestown. That was so good. Some more junk. Our neighbor for the winter is an amazing artist, and got to hang out with her a lot. She's really, really amazing. Gave me this postcard of her art show. I collected all of these little bookmarks from Powell's in Portland, and I didn't know what I was going to do with them, and I decided to just line them all up. And I painted this in January in Minneapolis for the protests. I just really wanted to capture it in watercolor like I do with everything. It's a really important thing for me to capture. And we have a huge sticker dump over here, different outfits I was wearing in the snow in New York. This was my go-to, a wool skirt with very thermal leggings and my big jacket and a scarf. That was the only way I was able to survive the blizzard. And then the days that were a little warmer, I did go out and ice skate in the public ice rinks. I can't believe how many options New York has for public outdoor ice rinks. It makes me very jealous. Over here, my friend Jess, and we've got William and just other scraps I've been collecting. We've got more scraps, fun little junk page, and then painted my ice skates over here. Some more junk. This thrift store is amazing. Had to paint this vignette. I believe this was in the Lower East Side. We were just walking and I saw this like really warm ambient lighting from all these lanterns, and I've been big into lantern lighting lately. I just really love the ethereal glow. It feels so fairyland magical and then there's literally like trash bags here and like dirty snow, but this just was such a magical scene. I'm really proud of how this turned out. I painted with these granulating watercolors that were kind of hard to use, but it just evokes that warm feeling. Some food-related scraps and stickers I collected in New York. I eat so good in New York. I did my first ever gallery hopping in New York by myself. It was kind of scary. It was like kind of intimidating. And these are all the things I collected on that excursion. I believe, where was I? I think it was in Chelsea mostly. I was just wandering around. I walked so much that night from gallery to gallery. This is kind of like I color coded all this junk that I had that was kind of like beige and white and gray, and I just like how this like simple thing turned out. Very January-y. As I said before, I eat so good in New York. Look at that. I like to capture interesting, good meals that I want to remember in watercolor. I just love painting food so much, and these soups were fire. And this omakase we did was, I mean, I'll never forget it. It was so good. And on my walk back to the apartment we were staying at, I passed by this bakery every time, and it was just so cute. I had to paint it. Some scraps from my junk journal club, actually, and a little photo of me outside of the Badlands concert me and my friend Maddie went to. Again, more moments of really good eats in New York that I want to like internalize and remember and go back to. A big junk page, very colorful. So at this point, I'm back from New York. I'm in LA with my friend Aisha. We filmed a little commercial, and being back in California, the like stark difference between how cold and like wintry everything feels, and then in California, it's like nothing's changed. It's very, very summery all year round, and these beautiful flowers are blooming on the California coast. And I'm seeing deer out in the streets, just little things like that I wanted to remember. This little walk with William. Madonna Inn spread. Love Madonna Inn. This is around February 28th. It's still kind of Valentine's-y. This was a photo from us in New York that I wanted to throw in here. But I painted a scene from the Madonna Inn dining room. Just love anything Madonna Inn. This is kind of looking back on my trip to New York, doing so much ice skating, hanging out with my really great friends that I've made in New York. And I just wanted to throw photos of all of us in here to remember. This winter was so magical on so many levels. I just am really, really grateful that I got to spend almost the whole month there and really experience a true winter as a California girl. And here's some more kind of Valentine's-y stuff. This is little moments from my workshop with Caro Crafts. That was really cool in New York. I got to teach my make your own watercolor stickers with Caro, and we did a Caro themed sheet. It was so fun. More Valentine's-y stuff. I love to do lots of Valentine's pages every year. Valentine's is my favorite holiday. Me and my team, my sticker shop team, went to Ensenada. We took a cruise. It was a 2-day cruise, but it was our goal trip for meeting our business goals last year. We always go somewhere, and I have actually never been to Mexico, so this was really exciting, and it was stunning and beautiful. What an amazing experience. I wish I could have been there longer, but these were a couple scenes that I captured in watercolor from that trip. And part of our trip that we really prioritized was trying a bunch of candy, because Mexican candy is absolutely top tier. All of the confections, and they're just so visually stunning. So I had to paint them. I could not wait to get my paints and just commit these to paper, because eating them, I'm like taking photos of all of them to paint later. They're so beautiful. And this is kind of like a bunch of memories and moments from that trip with my friends. If you can see here, that's Patrina and Michaela in little shark onesies. They were so cute. And William looking at the view. We had never been on cruise before. It was very fun. I had my Patreon tell me all of the themes that they want to see in the next year. So instead of like a normal person putting it in a spreadsheet, I just put it in my journal, and I literally wrote down every single idea they had and just kind of tallied up what is most popular, so I can make sure that I can do that for them this year, but also like have it written down so I can reference and be like, what theme should I do for next month? This is kind of a random Redwoods theme one. And this is me. I guess, I don't really remember. I guess I was kind of like manifesting summer. Maybe I was over winter at this point. But there's me getting ready for summer, I guess. I think I was listening to a lot of Zara Larsson when I was painting that. So that is that for this journal. I really love the things I created in here. The memories are great. I did not love the size of this. It was really hard to photograph and it was really bulky. So I did a pivot and I decided to go smaller for my next journal, and I went square this time, which was a lot easier to take photos of. I also decorated it with my April junk journal stuff. It's very, very coquette, I'd say. So this is the first page, and I reorganized my watercolor palette that I take on trips. And I had to test everything to make sure that those are the colors I actually want to bring around. It's really hard for me to limit my color palette, guys. I just want all of the colors, but I can't bring literally like hundreds of colors everywhere I go, so I have to limit it. But yeah, some watercolor stickers I've created. This was like a little outfit of the day I did. So this journal, actually, when did I start this? This was March through April, so this was around the time I went to Chicago for the first time, and I did the Chicago Stationery Fest. So this is a bunch of junk I collected that weekend of the Chicago Stationery Fest. So many people gave me their art and stickers on this trip. I just had to memorialize it. My friend Annabelle from Atlas Stationers gave me these really cool stickers, and Art Girl saw Art Girl in Chicago as well. We have Modesty's little Whimsy City sticker. What a fun trip. This was some of the best meals I've ever had. Like this dessert and this Ethiopian food. Oh my God. So good. Chicago knows what's up with food. We went to the strip club, which is this like photo booth shop. Even though it sounds like it's a strip club, it is a photo strip club. And we took tons and tons of photos. Here are me and my besties. And we have some of my stickers from my workshop in here. And I had to paint paper and pencil. They have now actually moved locations, so I'm really glad I captured this. It's a little memory keepsake forever. I'm excited to paint their new location and to visit. We've got Loaf Lounge was another really great meal that I had in Chicago, and I went to Caro Craft's LA event and we did some like mindfulness exercises, so that's what's going on here, and we got to like do some crafting as well. So I made this funny thing, and it was at a cat cafe in LA, and I painted some of the cats that were wandering around. It was called Little Lions Cat Cafe. So cute. My friend Jen makes handmade watercolors, and she sent me some that were literally made of things she found in the sea and in the forest. Very, very ethereal mermaid vibes. So she wrote me this little note, and I've kept it in here. This was from that strip club photo booth place. The little options they had, there was this like old-timey heart Valentine one. So cute. And you can tell now I'm like starting to get into my cherry blossom era, because I decided to go on a last minute trip to Tokyo, booked the ticket, and I was getting into the mood here. Some more Chicago junk and stuff. Wow, the Chicago junk is so beautiful. This is cool. Someone was using this in one of my Chicago watercolor workshops as kind of like a paint palette, and they left it behind, so I put it in my junk journal, and it's just really pretty. So I added some stickers and stuff. And then back in California, we celebrated my dad's birthday, and we were sitting at an outdoor table, just all hanging out, drinking wine, chatting. So I started sketching the trees outside while we were all hanging out. So that's that. This is kind of a rare instance of an unfinished page. This is me kind of plotting. Michaela, she literally made tuna poke for us and sat by her cabana for an afternoon, and it was like one of the most relaxing, fun days ever. Like, being back in California is so nice sometimes because you really get to just enjoy like the outdoors and the warmth and like food like this. It was so nice. She really popped off with that. I had to capture the highlights of Chicago. There were some really cool moments, like going to this museum with these beautiful stained glass ceilings. Chicago Stationery Fest was an absolute blast, and it was so well organized, and I just felt so honored to have been invited. Had dinner with some really sweet, crafty girlies. I'm just really, really grateful for the community in Chicago. This is where I'm like kind of thinking about future Patreons. Like I want to do some more fairy tale themed ones, so this might be something you'll see in a Patreon kit someday. One of my best friends, I've known this girl since kindergarten, got married, and I was in her wedding party, so obviously had to paint her getting ready. She was so beautiful, like absolute princess. She reminds me of like the Princess Diaries in this painting. Like, I don't know, she's like a literal princess. And she made this really cool newspaper for her wedding program, so I cut it up and junk journaled it. But wow, what a beautiful day that was. Got to hang out kind of like near Santa Cruz, as I do sometimes, and we saw this creature that I had never seen before. I guess he's like a weasel, and I had to paint him because I'm like, I didn't even know that these existed in California. Saw some ducks, and this is me kind of practicing what would it be like to paint a landscape with just values, like without any color, with just grayscale. And it's hard, but I kind of love how it turned out. It was a really fun exercise. It was very negative space. William and I spent a day in Santa Cruz. That's where I was born, so there's some really sweet memories with Capitola, and we have our spots. I really love going to 11th Hour Coffee. If you know, you know. But yeah, just little moments from that day were so sweet. Some more plotting. This is my little angel baby, Winston. He passed away. He was really, really old, and it was his time, but it was really hard saying bye to him this year, and I'm still not really over it, to be honest. I mean, you never really are ready for your little guy to leave, so I had to paint him. He is a little angel, really. He's such a good boy. This is me painting for a future wind chime sticker sheet, so keep your eyes peeled for that. This is one of my favorite restaurants in California. It's up in the mountains, and it's just this random, really, really good Japanese place. I wish you could see it a little better. This is the outdoors, and it was raining, so it just was such a vibe. I had to capture it. It's so beautiful. Every time I'm there, I'm like, I need to paint this place. And the food is so good. It's so hard to choose one thing, so I end up getting the bento box every time so I can get everything. This is me figuring out what I'm doing for Japan because it was very last minute. This is a really great place in Chicago that makes a really, really good matcha. Some more plotting and a sticker dump. Went to a family friend's birthday party. This is them with their little dog Cooper, so cute. This is my way of like organizing my life for Japan, figuring out what I was gonna wear. I actually ended up bringing only like these 3 things, nothing else. I really packed minimally, and I'm so glad I did because I ended up coming home with a lot of stuff. Got this from Atlas Stationers. I went back to Chicago actually like within this journal amount of time. I've been to Chicago twice now. I went back and got some more stuff, visited my peeps like Atlas, Paper and Pencil, and taught a workshop at Pixie and the Boy. This is something I'm cooking up. It is something I don't know how to describe, but you'll see, I guess. This is a photo of Ethel Kane taking a mirror selfie. I had to paint because it's iconic. This is me attempting to do like the shadows of light on my parents' house, like just on a wall in my parents' house. And I did not really achieve what I wanted to, but this is where we practice. It's okay. Again, another day, Michaela decided to do it up. We had amazing tacos. She makes this really, really good guacamole and cilantro sauce. We hung out by the pool. There's William, absolutely living life. This was another day. I had pho, but yeah, I had a lot of fun sketching this by the pool. I really love my friends. We went to Santa Barbara for a week, and this is one of the houses that we passed by. I was just like, wow, the foliage growing on this place is crazy. And these were little doggies we saw at a cafe I love. This cafe also has amazing matcha. And this is my attempt of painting a little fruit stand. I never finished it. Maybe I need to go back and finish this actually. But I was kind of rushing because this was my last day before Japan. It was also our actual wedding anniversary. So we started first with my dating anniversary, ends with my wedding anniversary. These journals are hilarious. But yeah, got a mango on a walk by the beach, and it was so amazing. I love mangoes so much. I love that they're in season right now. But yeah, William wrote me this letter, and it was just really sweet. So that is the end of these two journals. Thanks for watching my tours. I hope it's fun for you. I really like to do it. It feels like a good bookmark to the end of an era and the start of a new one. So these were like my winter to spring journals, and I hope you enjoyed. I'm about to film my Tokyo one next, so stay tuned, and I'll see you next time.